All right, so this is week 12, module 2. So before I start module 2, I forgot one thing. So once you finish this module 1, so you will need to go to Fusion 360 and then save the file. So I created week 12 and I will practice. So you need to save the file. So brackets. So I already have the bracket file, so I will just type number one. So we can just type bracket, okay? So we will use this file later to assemble your object, your final model. So just save, and then we can continue the second part. All right, so module 2 is designing this base, okay? But this base will also based on your sketch. We're gonna use our sketch, okay? So this is the same as our first design. So we can go to Fusion 360 and then going to click Insert and then find the image that I imported from Freehand Sketch. If you don't have, you need to draw this Freehand Sketch and then copy to your computer to ready to import into your Fusion 360. Okay, if you find the file, you can open, and then I also use the X XG plane. Okay, click and then just take a look at detail, and then as you can see, left right was flipped, so we can just make a flip, horizontal flip. Okay, I'm going to say click, and yes, so we're ready to start the design. All right, so but in this example, so we are going to use a special feature that is calibrate, right? So the reason I'm calibrating is this is my freehand sketch, but as you can see in the Fusion 360, we have different scale. So the actual your design does not always the same, not does not same with this Fusion 360 scale. So that's why we will calibrate the site. Okay, so to make a calibration, you can click Canvas, your sketch on your browser panel, and you can find the canvases, and then find your sketch. So if you click on visible, that you can see your image file, and then mouse right click, and then find calibrate. Did you find this one? Okay, and I'm going to click this object, and then what I'm going to do is make the image to the front view and then draw a point, 2 point from start to the end. And then that's gonna be, this should be actually 15.8 on Fusion 360. That's what I'm saying. In the Fusion 360, this scale is 50.8 millimeter. And if I click, that automatically the image, the sketch image was enlarged. Okay, so this is already calibrated. So that means in Fusion 360, if I sketch draw a line from the end to the end, that's gonna be 50.8. Okay, so yeah, we can use this one. All right. All right, so let's go back to my presentation file. Okay, so I'm going to start from the base of cylinder. So I'm going to make this one. So the first step is making this base cylinder. So to draw a cylinder, so I'm going to sketch a line at the bottom. This is special vision. And just draw a line. And that line, just randomly draw a line, okay, at the bottom. And then finish sketch. And then I'm going to create a new plane. on this line. Okay, so plane at angle, and then let me select this line, and then I'm going to create new plane. So the reason is I'm going to draw a circle ba based on this line. Okay. Also, I'm going to let me edit sketch. So I'm going to edit and then make this line actually 50.8 this line. So I'm going to create and then sketch dimension and then give the size 50.8. Okay. Let's add one circle on this plane. Okay, click this plane, and then to the center, I'm going to draw 50.8, and it's gonna be the base. Let me rotate. Yep, it's gonna be because my sketch was just front view, so this is gonna be top view of the object. So let me just finish the sketch and extrude this circle to make a cylinder. So let me just extrude 3 millimeter. That will be enough. That was enough. Okay, 3 millimeter extrude. All right. So I extrude 3 millimeter, and then I'm going to also let me just yeah. Next step is I'm going to add a second layer of the base. These shapes. So how we can make this shape? Yes, so we can use the loft feature. So to use loft, we need to draw a circle on here. So let me create a new sketch on the top of the first layer. And then find the center. You can move your mouse. You can find the circle icon. So the center of the circle. And then draw the circle, let's just say 50 millimeter. Okay, and yep, we draw this circle, and then the next step is I'm going to move this circle to the G plane. Okay, but you can just try. So click this sketch and then move copy and try to move this one. But try to move this object. So does it work? So maybe not. So the reason the move doesn't work is that in your sketch, I used the center line of the big one. So that automatically constrain the center line. So you see this small icon. This is a constraint. So to move this circle to the G plane, so we need to delete this constraint. So you can just quickly find the constraint icon, click this icon, and then mouse right click and delete. Okay, delete it. So we deleted the constraint. Then we can just move this circle to the move copy and then G plane. Right? Do you see? Yeah, we can move this circle. So let me just move 25 millimeter to the G plane. Okay, select, yeah, and just move to 25 millimeter from the bottom to this top. Okay, yep, we're ready. So we can just finish the sketch and then use the loft. Okay, so create and select loft. So loft is a feature that connect the bottom and top with the shapes. So I'm going to select this outline of the top circle. So you should be careful, don't click the center line. Okay, select the outer lines and then select the bottom circle. The yep, and so if you select, you should see this types of shapes. Okay, so you can just change the options like directions, but this connected is what I intended. So click OK, and we created first and second layer of a base. So let's just see what else we need to do. So the next step is we can extrude the third layer. This one just 50 millimeter. So here, this step is easy. So we just select this sketch and then extrude to the top 50 millimeter. Yep. All right. So and then what's the next step? The next step is extrude 20 millimeter to the top, but I'm going to use the tapered angle extrude. So that means we make extrude with this angle, and then the top make bigger than the bottom. So this outcome looks similar to loft, but the much conveniently extrude your object with the angle. So let me just move my sketch and then let me just practice. So select the top of the face, as a third layer, and then extrude the 20 millimeter, 20. And then you can just, under your dialog, so tapered angle, you should find tapered angle. So I would just say 15, um, 15, this angle. And then that was tapered angle, the extrusion, okay? And just click OK. Yep, it looks good. What else we need to do? So the next step is I'm going to add a sphere. So I need to explain the big picture of this module 2. In module 2, we are creating this shape. So we finished this first and second and third fourth layer. So but the next step is creating these shapes. So what I'm going to do is I'm start from creating a sphere and then cut the half and then make the inside shell. This is my next step, okay? All right, so let me create a sphere, 40 millimeter. So my step will be create a sphere on top of this surface. And then let me find the center of this the circle. And then the side was 40 millimeter. Operation, so let's make a new body. All right. Yep, so this is the object I created on top of the object. And let me just move a little bit down. No, okay, so I just go again. So create a sphere on top of the surface and find the center and the size is 40 millimeter and new body. Okay, create. So let me just a little bit move down this object. So move copy and then to G plane, make a little bit down. Let me see, a big object. Okay, yep, I need to move a little bit up. So, yes. All right, so yeah, so I can just make this object and okay. All right, so the next step is I'm going to cut the half of this object. So let me draw a sketch. So I'm going to draw a line on X G plane and draw the center line. So okay, so I just draw a line and then let me finish the sketch. So I draw a line. So the next step I'm going to do is split this sphere into two pieces with this line. Okay, so I'm going to use split body, click split body, and then select body, this sphere, and then splitting tool is the line that I draw. So yeah, do you see this line that I draw? Yeah, and then you will see the straight line. Okay, I clicked, and then this body was split. So in your browser panel, you can find bodies. So first body is your bottom, the base, and the second is the bottom half of the sphere, and the third one is top half of the sphere. So let me just delete the top body. So you cannot delete on here. So there's some limitation constraint. So I'm going to use the browser panel, body 3, and then do not select delete. I'm going to use remove. So click remove, then this very cleanly deleted the top half of the sphere. Okay, so yeah, so let me just go back to my presentation. I just removed the top half, and then the next step is I'm going to make the empty inside and then make a thin the outer layer. Okay, so I'm going to use the shell for this one. So let me click the top face and then select the shell tool on the tool, a modifying tool, or you can find the modify shell, the modify, and yeah, shell. Okay, so we're ready to modify the shell. So let me just type the 2 millimeter. So that means I'm going to make a 2 millimeter wall and then make a empty in the inside. So if you click OK, so I created a cylinder that has empty space the inside. Okay. Yep. Mhm. That's what I created. Okay, so this is the object we created. So the inside is a little bit overlapped. So let me just move this object, select this object and move, copy, and a little bit move to the top, a little bit. Let me just move a little bit more. Just, yeah, that's gonna be enough. Okay. Let me try one more time this object. I don't know why. So let me move the copy to the G plane and let me type 8 millimeter and let me see what happened. I guess something wrong in the here. So all right, so just ignore this one. So we can just keep this one and then later we can come visit up again this if needed. Okay, so the next step will be the make the socket hole like this. So I'm going to cut this piece inside the socket hole. Okay. So finally, I want to make this kind of shape. Okay. So to make this one, I'm going to draw a new sketch on XZ plane, and then let me draw a small. Okay, so let me draw. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to draw a line with the size of the circle. Okay. Um, okay, yes, and then make this construction line. I want to make find the I just want to make it the center of this line. Okay, that's the region that I just draw this one, and then let me draw a rectangle That's gonna be 3 point center. Um, okay, let's do this. Just create a circle, the center of this line. If you move your mouse, you can find the center line. And the center line is the 3.12, let's say, okay? And let me move this circle downside, okay, just a little bit. There's no specific size. And then let me draw a rectangle. So 2-point rectangle. So I'm going to connect the center line of this circle, and then just make connect to the top. Okay, and this I'm going to just make this adjust this side 3.12. That is the diameter of this circle. Okay, I draw this object, so I'm going to delete the inside of this geometry, and let me finish the sketch. So I draw this geometry, and I'm going to extrude this geometry to make a cut inside. Okay. Okay, this is my sketch, and then let me just extrude this object to this side. Okay, just make a cut. Operation is cut, and I can click OK. Yep. So I created these shapes on the top. So I want to make three more these shapes on the top socket hole. Okay. So to make this, I'm going to use pattern, circular pattern, and then let me find the faces. So the bottom, and then the side, and then two sides, and then axis, this outer circle, and I want to make four these shapes. So click OK, and yes, I created this object. Yep, this looks good. So yep, let me find my slide. Yep, I'm going to make a cut and ball joint inside. Okay, and yeah, we can ignore the last part. So we finished module 2, so it looks good. So let me just before finishing this module 2, let me save this file to let me go to week 12 and then say base. Okay, I just type base 1 because I already have the base file. All right, so we good. So I'm going to finish this module 2, and we'll see in module 3 to assemble the two components.